Hello everyone. It's Stray Faye here with another episode of Cupid, Parasite. Continuing on with the Gill's route, we had another episode of reminiscing. Lynette and Gill both thinking about their college days and thinking about their college prom, and they seem to have a repeat of the prom-posal that Gill did back then. Kind of recreated that hug scene. And yeah, I think Lynette's finally catching the feelings. Realizing that maybe she sees Gill more than just a friend. Alright, so let's start the next chapter. We still have quite a bit to go. We're like not even halfway there. Unless the chapters are like super short. Let's start the next chapter, A God-Given Opportunity. Looks like we're back in Lynette's perspective. It looks like it's about the past. Gill, you're going to leave? Yeah. You don't really need me anymore. Oh. Need you? What do you mean by that? Felt like he got rejected and now he's running away. Even if I left, you're not going to try and stop me, right? Do you even want me around? What? I mean, it's your life. You can do whatever you want, Gill. I see. So that's all I am to you. Huh? I hear you loud and clear. Silly me, assuming things. I'm such an idiot. Oh, don't get mad at her. She doesn't know any better. She just wants you to be happy without thinking of her own happiness. Huh. Claris was eating breakfast while mindlessly watching the news. TFN news anchor. Next in the news, the LCI Incorporated presented the latest car model at the International Auto Show held in Baltimore. Gee? I wonder what Gill is doing now. I wasn't able to sleep much since that incident. I thought about it constantly all throughout the night. I reflected on why Gill embraced me and why he promised to protect me. Kept me up until morning. Gill did hug me yesterday. On top of that, he hugged me at our meeting place where he wanted to talk. Even though I was an hour late, Gill still waited for me. Then he hugged me there. Just can't take a hint. Finally, the hints are sinking in, though. If a member told me about a similar situation, I would immediately assure her that the man in question loves her. Kept thinking about that all yesterday. Honestly, it reminded me of when Gill left our roommate situation. Back then, I didn't understand why he was so angry. But now, I understand. You felt that I didn't reciprocate his feelings and was shocked by it. What do I do? You okay? You've just been playing with your oatmeal. Did something happen? Huh? Oh, yeah, Oh, Claris. She's the one I thought Gill had feelings for. But Claris said that Gill likes me the entire time. We even made a bet on it. Oh, you're doing all the chores, girl. Claris must have a reason why she truly thinks Gill likes me. That's why I decided to ask her outright. Hey, Claris. About Gill. Oh, I know that phase. So you finally realized I'm right. It's more like... Well, I want to ask... Well, do you really think Gill likes me? He's like dotes on you, hugs you, gives in to like your every whim. He's like, nah, he doesn't like me, he's just being nice. What? Duh, of course. It's so obvious with a guy like Gill. But he should like a girl like you, Claris. At least that's what I thought. He was always looking at you in college. He's just himself when we're alone, but he always starts fidgeting when all of us share breakfast together. That's why I thought he liked you and wanted to be with you. I think he just feels awkward around Clarice, and like he feels the most comfortable around Lynette. During breakfast? Oh yeah, he got all weird back then. But it was absolutely because of you. Me? Why me? Girl, it's because Gill is having wet dreams about you. Wait, what? Why do you know about that? Excuse me? What dreams? Dreams about sex? I stood up in shock and surprise upon hearing Clarice utter that unexpected phrase. What do you mean by that? Boys in the midst of puberty are always like this. I don't know why, but he has those dreams every night I'm home. Why would you at home? He asked me one time if I've been getting high or was using some weird incense. I always use incense in my room, so me simply being there was enough to trigger those dreams. Rude, am I right? What? That happened? Heck yeah, he wasn't fidgeting because of me. Gill was acting weird because he was having some very sexy dreams about you. Well, what should I do? My only reason for thinking Gill was in love with Clarice was gone. Then, does that really truly mean? Could it really be true that I'm the one Gill likes? You really didn't notice, huh? Of course not! I thought that Gill liked you this whole time, Clarice! I never considered him liking me. I mean, I guess that's fair, like, the awkward glances. And Lynette's a little naive to just think about wet dreams, even though she does study, like, everything about romance and relationships. I never thought anyone would ever fall for someone like me. Plus, I'm Cupid. My existence is solely to help others fall in love. It never occurred to me that I would be the one to be loved. That's why you're called the Cupid Parasite. You need to get through your thick head that you're part of this too. You're right. So what made you finally realize Gill's feelings? Did he do something to you? Huh? The hug? Pan back to the hug. You've got it all wrong. He didn't do anything. Well, except... Huh? Why does Clarice look all surprised? Did she tell her? Or was it just the face Lynette's making? I remembered what happened and I feel my ears burning up. If Gill truly likes me, then all of his actions up until now have an entirely different meaning to them. The hand holding, with the intense look in his eyes. Back then, all these like intimate moments. It's like, no, he's just a nice guy. Oh, so naive. And that time as well. Clarice, what should I do? If Gill really likes me, then I treated him terribly. I mean, you said it, not me. Clarice, what do I do? I didn't think Gill liked me. When did this even happen? Well, when I rolled into our living situation, he was pretty chill about it. Like a big brother, you know. Yeah, exactly. Gill was constantly looking after you, so I thought you had a sibling kind of dynamic. But then he got all weird about things. You know, could it be because of his dreams? What? Is that a possibility? If dreams were all it takes to trigger love, what's the point of Cupid anyways? Isn't that always how love starts? First there's a misunderstanding, then things get real. Shakespeare loved that stuff. It's true that classic stories often start with love at first sight. I learned that fact from movies in college. But what if all this is still just a misunderstanding? I was still being pessimistic about everything. Claire sighed in my direction. What are you going on about? Gill fell for you. Doesn't matter how it started. Now that you realize Gill's feelings, stop running away. Be an adult, face them, and accept the facts. You're right. It'd be so awkward if I met him right now. What do I do? I sighed while continuing to eat my breakfast. Things were good until I turned towards the TV. Gill was being featured. I spat out every bit of food. Sprayed all the oatmeal. I have a feeling Claire's definitely did something. I don't know, like the incense excuse. I mean, I guess like certain scents might trigger things, but now I'm getting real sussy about Claire's. Alright, what's on the news? TFN reporter. Welcome to today's funny news. Our topic of the day. It's the mysterious stench from a 6th Avenue apartment. Huh, what? It's not about like an article Gill wrote. We're live with a resident. Hi, how are you doing? Hello. I got chased out of my own home. I'm not sure what to do now. Did someone put mayonnaise in the freaking vents? Why is it stinky? Chased out? Oh my! Was the stench that bad? Well, we don't know where the smell is coming from. They've decided to do an emergency renovation. There were talks about renovating the whole building, but now they've moved up the schedule. Looks like I'm out of a home. Wait, can they even do that? Usually they have to like put people up somewhere, like get them a hotel or something like that. They can't just throw them out in the street. That's too bad. So you said you don't know where that horrible smell is coming from? What did it smell like? Can you describe it? Did like an animal crawl in some crevice and die? We had that happen just recently too. We're like, this is like an awful smell coming from like around the house. And like, we finally, my poor dad to crawl underneath. I was like, I guess I could have done it. But like my sister's husband is like too big to like crawl down there, and like my dad like ended up pulling out a dead possum. Was like, oh. Alright, well what died? Smells like something fermented. It's just a really pungent odor. I see. Well, thank you for talking with us. As you can see, this poor resident has been forced onto the streets by that foul stench. Someone started GoFundMe so I can get an apartment or something. Maybe someone was cooking something like really bad. There's some like really stinky fermented foods out there that might taste great, but like to the surrounding people is a bunch of casualties who can't handle the smell. It appears that contractors are headed to resolve the situation. However, because of the building's age, it'll be tough. Do they have to like destroy the whole building? Like what? Like, what's the stinkiness? They're like a sewage pipe? Uh-oh, well, are we gonna help them out? Was that Gill? Yeah, it was. We look at each other, then Claire's burst out laughing. Oh, come on. Now he's getting chased out of his apartment because of freaks? Gill has the worst luck. Clarice, don't be mean. You can't laugh at his misfortune like that. As she says, smiling. I always thought Gill was particularly unlucky. But he went from smelly problems to home renovation. Why don't you message him? Me? Yeah, having the girl he likes comfort him would probably tear him up. Claire grins mischievously. I don't have a rebuttal to that wicked smile. I was feeling guilty for not even noticing Gill's feelings towards me. If only it was a simple misunderstanding. But then I remember what Clara said and reflect on Gill's reaction. If I don't reach out, I'll just be running away. I gave in and finally took out my phone. Then I remembered that I had forgotten to charge it since that incident. So much stuff happened yesterday, but I'm on the late shift today, so I can charge my smartphone ahead of time. Does she have like a bunch of messages, or maybe Gill said something sad, like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna leave you alone forever. I insert the charger into my phone and set it aside. When the screen lights up, a ton of message notifications start to pop up. Oh no, it's probably everything from last night. Like, before they met up. What? What's going on here? This is pretty intense. I promised to meet Gill last night, but work got in the way. My phone died too, so I couldn't tell him I was gonna be late. Gill was probably trying to contact me since I hadn't shown. Oh, speaking of which, did you see him waiting outside? Nah, I spent the night elsewhere and went straight there to the office. I didn't see Gill at all. I probably went to see a dude. Oh, I see. That probably made Gill fret even more. My smartphone is still pinging with the message notifications. All of them, of course, are from Gill. Text from Gill. It's our date today. I was so excited that I woke up extra early. Where do you want to go for dinner? I'll check it out in advance. It's 55 minutes before our date, but I'm here and ready when you are. Oh, God. I'm just gonna take some time to think about some things, so take your time. Are you still at work? I'd love to hear about your day. Those simple messages started to sound more and more worried. He even started asking if I was in an accident. Maybe this is the reason why your phone died. Yeah, he kept pinging. Kept pinging her phone. Good point. There were already loads of messages ahead of the meeting time, so Clarice's suggestion might be right. It's Gill's fault. I briefly felt sorry for Gill, but immediately took that back. This is all his fault. Who says this many messages? Oh my god. Chi? The messages kept piling in. She has a viciously disgusted look. Every single thing Gill says feels like another weight on my back. That's the fate of the lovelorn parasite. If I was to blame for this, I would have to face him as both an advisor and friend. Once the notifications go silent, I reach out to Gill. For now, I watch as the notifications continue one after another. Little unhinged. Oh, this is Gill outside of his apartment. This is no good. Again. I was walking around 6th Avenue looking for realtors with any available rental properties. I heave a heavy sigh. After the stench incident, I was chased out of my apartment due to renovations. Now I'm looking for a temporary place to live. Go live with Lynette and get sleep in the same bed. Your dream. Los York is a popular city, which is why the rent is too darn high. There's some relatively cheap places on 6th Avenue, but naturally there's no vacancies. Even still, the rent rates are high and many require a roommate situation. I know, same here. Like, I have to room with my boyfriend, my sister, and her husband. We have, like, a house, luckily, but even then, like, that's a deal. If I had to, like, live anywhere else, yeah, it would be hard to pony up the rent money. My apartment might be old, but it's got a good atmosphere. And it's a nice place to live. I really liked it there. But the landlord kicked me out for the next month until renovations are finished. It's hard to disagree as a renter. I feel like there should be some sort of, like, clause or something that you can just kick out a renter out on the streets. Like, you have to give them some place, like a hotel, like, to bed down in. Sometimes I find a nice place, but they immediately say no when they find out I'm a freelance editor. Being freelancer means I have a regular income and no safety nets. They're always worried that I won't make rent. But I never missed rent, so I thought things would be okay. But the realtors still weren't convinced that the harsh reality. Even if you have the money, they're like, don't like your jobs, you can stay out on the streets. I guess to them, I don't have enough of a social reputation. They can't trust me. I heaved yet another sigh as I continued my search. Come to think of it, when I stopped rooming with them, I had the same problem. Back when I was rooming with the girls, I was still a student. My brother was my guarantor, co-signer, so I didn't have any worries. But after graduation, I left my living situation and tried to find my own place. That caused me a lot of problems. Just back then, I'm always forlorn, especially now. Back to the past. What happened to Gill? On that day, I was working at the cafe and was sighing a lot too. It had been a month since I started living alone. During that time, I became painfully aware of my naivete. I never thought finding work would be this hard. Thanks to my fellow alumni and a freelance editing site, I was getting some work. But because I lacked experience, it wasn't much. That's why I took every chance I could get. I couldn't afford to be picky when there were bills to pay. Still, working as an editor is quite fun. Feels like I'm helping others. It feels like my calling. But I got a wake-up call while working as an editor for a marriage magazine. Really, it was a reminder of my goal. I chose this job so I could have time for my girlfriend. But with no girlfriend to speak of, I started to feel insecure. Plus, the pay isn't that great either. I was given small jobs, and back when I was still living with her, I constantly had to ask her for money to pay rent. Back when I was a student, I had never had that problem, but now I needed all the help I could get. In the end, I ran away from her. Oh, did you feel bad that I kept asking for handouts? That's okay. We weren't really in love anyway. When I asked her out, she said that she was happy for the attention, but I wouldn't get a girlfriend if I kept pursuing her. Because of that, she never thought of me as her actual boyfriend. It was just my own misunderstanding. As always, I was jumping to conclusions. I thought we were in love, but after I found out the truth, I felt so embarrassed. After knowing that she loves me like a brother, it made it even more awkward for me to be around her. I'm sure she didn't understand why I left our home. However, Claris probably gets it. If I make a name for myself as an editor, then I would confess my feelings to her. But reality is harsh. I can barely survive on my own. All I could do was work myself to the bone with every job I take on. Can't do it. I can't move on. My feelings for her are just that strong. But she doesn't feel the same. Not back then. Not now. Not ever. In her eyes, I'm not even a man. I'm just being vain by continuing to be in love with her. But I can't stop. In my heart, I decided to be in love with her for the rest of my life. I glance at my computer screen and see part of the marriage magazine article I'm editing. I see phrases like, "Don't be overbearing," or "No one likes men who trash their ex." The writer for this is pretty harsh. Don't be overbearing. I can't help it though. I wish I could hold back when it comes to love. The dedication, like even after they say like time heals all wounds, not for Gill though. But I want to do everything for the person I love. I don't want to hold back. I just want to think of them always. A little unhinged here, dude. Your eyes look a little scary too. But I'm still not even seen as a man. Plus, there's no one to direct my overbearing love towards. Well, back to work. I chose to focus on getting things done for a while. In order to be independent, I need to make a living. If I can't do that, then I can't support a partner. I turned my attention back to the magazine. I dropped the word marriage from my mind. That word is just too much for me right now. Take some coffee. I tried to focus solely on work. But then one day I realized that I was always chasing after her shadow. No, a snowy night. I can see the fog of my breath in the cold night air. It was a rather chilly night for Los York. It was even snowing. I was alone, with only the sky for company. Oh, this is such a painful romantic. Barely gets this cold. I've never seen snow in Los York before either. Is this like a little after college? Did he just get a haircut? I should head home early and make some stew for dinner. Luckily, work is going well, so my wallet's pretty happy. I could splurge and buy some beef. I can even get some new clothes. The supermarket nearby closes early, so I hurry over. While walking, I realized something. I saw lots of couples walking around town. There were holiday decorations all around me, too. Oh, is he alone for Christmas? Then I realized that today was Christmas. Oh, yeah, this is like a Japan thing where, like, they made Christmas into more of a couple's holiday. Well, over here it's more of a family event. Give presents and stuff. Oh. I see all the passionate couples holding hands while walking around. They seem so happy as they look into shop windows and eat at restaurants. There's smiles all around. Oh. And there is you, the lonely guy. Makes me feel that's like saying like all my friends like date people and like just being like the odd one out. Just like, huh. The scene before me is what I wish I had. If only I had a girlfriend. Then I could give her the perfect holiday. I'd spend all day preparing Christmas dinner and even prep a surprise gift. I long to cook for my beloved. I want to pick out the perfect gift for her. I want to embrace them and wait on them hand and foot. All of that for my precious person. Thanks to a year of hard work, I made good money. I have my pick of all the best presents. Yet, I have no one to give a gift to. I have a desire to caretake, but no matter what, I can't find an outlet. I didn't think these feelings would be so painful. I look at the couples in front of me and run away. I run and run and run. By the time I realize it, I'm in front of Los York's famous Cupid Corporation. Oh, then he's like, oh, maybe these guys can help me. And, well, does he know Lynette works there? I saw it in a special feature for the marriage magazine I edited. They're an incredibly successful matchmaking agency. I look up at the shiny building. At the top are a wedding dress and the word Cupid in big bold letters. You think, like, since he was so involved with Lynette's life back in college, like, did you like not think that she might work here? Like, this is like that was like her main goal. Oh, Cupid, will you find me my true love? If I come here, will I be able to finally find someone I can love? I meet a lot of people as a freelancer, but it's never in a romantic context. Every person I meet is a fellow colleague or connection. In actuality, my work is quite solitary. In truth, I want Lynette. I've known that for years, but she wouldn't reciprocate my feelings. What would my friends say if they knew I was at some matchmaking company? Oops. I can see my breath fog up in the cold air. How happy would I be if there was someone warming my side on nights like this? He's just like such a romantic. He's like thinking always of her. But if I can't get her to notice me as myself, then I would have to find a new love. just trying to fill the hole with someone else, that's not healthy either. But is that what I really want? I'm still so in love with her. Why don't I just go visit her? I can try and confess my feelings one more time. But what if she outright rejects me? No, what if Lynette already has someone? That thought is terrifying. My heart would never recover from the shock. I'd rather run away than confront that possibility. Now I feel really bad for him. Like, what was his fate after, like, Ryuki and Shelby's, like, ending? He did, like, in Ryuki's route, he did, like, confess outright. And then, like, Shelby, there's always hints. But, like, he must have been, like, absolutely shattered upon the revelation that, like, she was dating someone else and then marrying someone else. Like, probably broke him down. That's alright. If I find someone new, then I can finally be Lynette's family. I can finally be the brother she deserves. That's why I decided to join Cupid Corp. I'll forget my unrequited love and find someone new. Little does he know, she's just gonna work her way back in his life. Gonna become that distraction. And yet, I never met anyone who surpassed my love for her. When I first signed up, the advisor introduced me to someone compatible via their patented matchmaking system. But it was no use. Every match just reaffirmed how much I was still in love with her. You're an outlier. The system couldn't place you anywhere. I started to become afraid of meeting new people. In the end, I even lost interest in any of the recommended matches. Before I realized it, they started calling me the Lovelorn Parasite. Looking back, it was the perfect name for someone like me. But thanks to that, I was able to meet her again. It's all because she was in charge of the Parasite 5. Speaking of advisors, she wanted to join Cupid Corp back in college. It's like ding ding ding, finally realized that, yeah, maybe going to Cupid Corp, like, maybe he would actually, like, spot her. But I left before I could see her get hired. In the end, I never found out where she went. That's why I was so shocked at seeing her at Cupid Corp. But I'm more worse off than the last time we met. Couldn't hold it back anymore. My feelings for her made me realize that she's the only one for me. Still, I'm glad I saw her again. I had stagnated. I saw a message notification pop up on my phone. It snapped me out of my daydreaming. I wondered if it was a work message. Gasping, I nearly dropped my phone. It was a message from her. Oh, there you are. Welcome, Gill. Sup, gal? Hello there. Clarice and I welcome Gill. He walked in with a troubled look on his face. I mean, they're here to help you out. You guys they're friends. After watching the news, Clarice and I talked and decided to take Gill in since he was chased out of his apartment so suddenly. He can sleep on the couch or something. They have a nice couch there. Since we all used to be roommates, having Gill in our home is no biggie. In fact, I reached out to him about this. He thought it over for a while, but in the end, he decided to come here. I thought I should avoid anything about his embracing me the other day. We both made a silent agreement to leave the topic alone. Our home is your home, Gill. You used to live here anyways. Thank you. Despite my imposition. You've changed the decor a bit since I moved. It's a little bit more girly. Gill started looking around the room with an interested gaze. Yeah. Clarice and I kind of got carried away with things. This is kind of a eclectic smattering of art and wallpapers, and I'm guessing that's like a makeup case over there, but they still have the cards. Maybe that's left over from Gill. Left those behind. Heck yeah, changing things up was super fun. I'm in the same room as before. Wanna take a peek, Gill? Wow, this place is really different. You even changed the wallpaper. And you've got that mirror, too. Upon entering Clarice's bedroom, Gill looked shocked. He held his hand over his mouth in awe. Cute, right? I did that with some lipstick. Oh, by the by, where do you want to sleep? I'm never here, so I want to use my room. That might feel a little awkward. No, I'll just take the couch since I'm a guest. You two just pretend I'm not even here. Oh, really now? Yeah, you're doing me a huge favor by letting me crash here. I'll even handle the housework. Would you mind? Oh, but I feel so bad about letting you do so much. Awesome, I knew you'd say that, Gill. Can you handle dinner tonight? Claire's is like, alright man, slave, make me food. I'm on it. Gill rolled up his sleeves and hurried into the kitchen. Claire's turned and playfully winked at me. And this is a pretty spacious bedroom. Jeez, can even fit a couch on it. Like a master here. Haha, doesn't matter who wins our bet now. Oh, it's like no one gets to do chores. Just thrust them all on Gill. Speaking of bets, we were wagering an entire month of chores depending on who Gill likes. Probably lost that bet, but given our current situation, it seems all bets are off. Clarice is right though. I have to make sure that it's really me that Gill likes. Now that I know the truth, I have to face him and his feelings head on this time. But I still don't know how. I still didn't know Gill felt all that for me. Despite everything that's happened, we're back at square one. At first, rooming with Gill felt awkward, but over time, things felt like they used to. Plus, because Gill handles all the housework, Clarice and I were able to kick back and relax. I'm home! I'm back! Welcome home, you two! Dinner's ready! It's like, there's Gill the mommy! Oh, wicked! Laundry! Done and done! I even got the cleaning done for the day! Plus the weather was so nice, everything dried quite well. Hang laundry outside. You can even imagine putting laundry outside. I feel like something would happen to it, get dirty, or like someone would end up touching it. Awesome! I was thinking of wearing my favorite bra out tonight. You're going out again? For an 11 o'clock date, girly. That is after I shower, change, and eat some of Gill's cooking. That's a late date, girl. Like, do you have work tomorrow? Let me get you a plate. Oh, I can help. Don't worry, I got everything. You go wash your hands and settle down into something more comfortable. Sure. Gee, Gill is really nice to have around. Be careful, this study won't even remember how to do chores. Normally, I start dinner prep after I got home. Since Gill is a freelancer, he has a lot more time for housework and cooking. It makes things so much easier. Having someone around to handle the chores is such a luxury, especially when you're a busy adult instead of a college student. During our time on Parasite House, Gill was quite the perfectionist, especially when it came to household chores. From my perspective, it's kind of nice to have him doing so much. Still, I'm worried about the strain on him. Gill may be a freelancer, but he still has work to do. We should probably split up all the chores. But whenever I ask, he'll probably just insist on doing everything himself. I should ask if there's a way to thank him that's not chores or cooking. Well, maybe. Gill always taken care of us like has always taken care of us like this. His feelings aside, I want to express my gratitude for his care. I should probably tell him that I figured out his feelings for me. But I don't 100% know what's going on through Gill's head. Nothing good will come from jumping the gun. Plus, you gotta reevaluate your feelings, girl. Do you like him too? Do you want to turn him down, or do you want to reciprocate? Having things turn all awkward with Gill right now would be horrible. After all, he's stuck here until the renovations are over. Yeah, you don't want to have, like, some sort of X situation while you're trapped. That's why I decided to avoid the topic, even though I felt guilty about it. Guilt aside, I went to go and wash my hands for dinner. A few days after Gill started taking care of everything, the weekend arrived. I finally expressed my desire to thank Gill. Thank me? Yeah, you're always taking care of us. I wanted to say thank you for that. Lynette, it's your day off, girl, and your hair is, like, still done up. Thanks, but you know I'm doing this because I want to. There's no need for thanks. But Gill, you've always gone above and beyond. Even when we were students, I want to do something in return. Gill's always so giving, so I want to do something in kind. That's why. Give you a massage. I mean, you might like that, or you might get really flustered. It says to pick. I'll cook something. Are you hungry? I can make us dinner. What do you say? I feel like that's kind of Gill's territory, but the more innocent option. And plus he gets to eat cooking from the girl he likes. You? Making dinner? Well, I guess I've never had your cooking before. Gill's face flushes red the moment he says that. I don't know why, but I felt just as embarrassed too. Well, it won't be as good as your cooking is, but if you don't mind that. If it's your cooking, I'm sure it'll be great. Gill would be the type who would eat Lynette's cooking, regardless of what it is, even if it was like an amorphous blob, he would still eat it. No, hearts. Gill's face turns even redder the moment he replies with such a spirited exclamation. He's red from ear to ear. That made me feel even more guilty. I'm so sorry, Gill. But I can't pretend to know his feelings. I wait for a moment to give him space to think. Crab cakes. I would like to eat some crab cakes. Crab cakes? It's a famous Baltimorean dish. I've loved it ever since I was a kid. Come to think of it, I haven't had it in 6 years now. Haven't you gone back home over the years? No. Gill looked sad and troubled as he replied. I feel like I shouldn't pry, so I hold back from asking more. Got it. Crab cakes it is. They'll be ready today. Good on you, Lynette. Like, cooking something, like, completely new. Not sure how to make crab cakes, but... yeah, might be interesting. Can't say I would ever eat them, though, because I have, like, an aversion towards, like, fish/shellfish. Now I can thank Gill today. Goal in mind, I headed out to buy everything I needed to make some crab cakes. Yeah, I guess, good on you, girl. Just, like, hearing something and be like, yeah, I can make that. Like, I can make stuff like pasta, like, beans, rice, like, something simple. But, like, if someone asked me to make crab cakes, I would just be like, what? I checked an ingredients list on my phone, bought them, and began preparing the crab cakes for Gill. A little project. Learning something new. However... I should have brought flaked crab meat. Oh no. Should like have to like deshell the crab. As the name suggests, crab cakes are like a burger, but made using crab meat. I thought it'd be great if I went all out and bought an entire crab, but because of my enthusiasm, I'm having some trouble. Yeah, like taking apart a crustacean does seem like a lot of work. It's a lot of work to get all the meat out. The crab shell is getting everywhere. There's not a surface in the kitchen that isn't messy now. I have to collect all the shell shards not step on them, and I need to wash my hands. Oh no, she's getting a little overwhelmed. Oh wow, this is a lot. Lynette, I'll help you out here. No, it's alright. You can leave the crab cakes to me. Just as I was saying that, a piece of crab shell slipped out of my hand. Oh no. Oh no! The shell fell into the crab meat bowl and got mixed in. Gill burst out laughing. It's pretty hard, isn't it? Let me help. I've been doing this since I was a kid. I've always snuck into to shell crabs, right? Really? Snuck in where? Like, I'm gonna shell these crabs. Huh? I wonder what he meant by that, but I don't think too long. My hands are numb from shelling crab. I really wanted to do this for you, Gill. Huh, don't worry. Being able to cook with you is just as rewarding. Oh, it's gonna help her anyway. Gill gives me a huge grin. Gill seems to really love cooking with others. So I suppose it's because he likes me. Because of that, my heart hurts a little bit. Gill, I'm so sorry! The more time we spend together, the guiltier I feel. I lost myself in thought while Gill took over preparing the crab in front of me. He definitely shelled the crab. Clearly he had a lot of experience doing this, just like he said. Sorry, Gill. Ha! I'm the one who's sorry. I requested such a difficult dish from you. To me, crab cakes taste like home. When I'm feeling nostalgic, this is the only dish for me. He squints and focuses while he continues to remove the meat from the crab. Gill is really good at cooking. I wonder if he was handy in the kitchen back in Baltimore. In that moment, I realized that I know nothing about Gill's family. I don't have a family in the conventional sense, so I always avoided the topic on purpose. Yeah, if you start asking about his family, he's gonna start asking about yours. Like, well, my parents are gods. But unlike my life in Celestia, Gill should have a family somewhere here in the human realm. He's good at chores and cooking, and he's caring too. But Gill always avoids talking about family. He even hates his surname. I wonder what Gill's family is like. We mutually avoided the topic, so I took advantage of that and never brought it up. But now I'm curious for some reason. Hey Gill, about Baltimore. Say ah! Wait, what? Ah? When I opened my mouth, as told, a piece of crab meat was guided in. Is that raw crab? It's delicious. Innocent picture just cooking together. I'm glad I splurged with the crab. Gill smiled at my reaction while I continued chewing. I always was rewarded with a taste for helping out. It's a perk of being the one cooking things. You get the snack on it. What a wonderful perk. I agree. Oh, were you about to say something? Yes, actually. You said crab cakes were from your hometown, right? I was wondering what Baltimore is like. Tried to say it in a pleasantly vague way. Still, Gill groaned and smiled, though he looked troubled. It's a town like every other. Actually, it's a port town, so there's lots of fresh seafood. Remember when Raoul talked about going to Baltimore when he was a kid? He said he got food poisoning from eating oysters. Oh yeah, Raoul did mention that during the wedding we attended on Parasite House. That felt like so long ago. Did he say that? In Baltimore, it's common to pray for safe seafaring and good harvests at the Neptune Festival. They eat oysters there. I volunteered there every year. I accompanied Raoul after getting hauled to the hospital for his food poisoning. I didn't think I'd see him again for another interview. He seemed to remember me pretty clearly too. Okay, that's why you guys are kind of buddy and talk to each other a lot. Even though like you guys are in completely different spheres of like career-wise. At first, Raoul mistook me for Neptune himself. I suppose in his eyes, I was the god of anti-food poisoning. He even said, if Gill's a human, then that means Neptune must be a woman. It's like his sickness gave him an epiphany. I think he's being weird. Thanks to that incident, I became friends with the rural aconite of all people. Life sure does come at you fast. Gill continues to skillfully craft crab cakes while speaking. I see how much of a crab cake expert he is, but more than that, I was interested in why he sounded so happy. He also changed the subject from his hometown and the past to talking about Raoul. It really feels like Gill's family and home life are kind of off limits. I shouldn't pry further. Plus, if this was reversed, I wouldn't know how to answer about my own lack of family. Instead of trying to force things, I'll wait until Gill is ready to share that with me. Yet, I wonder why my heart aches and why I feel so restless. Wonder what does she say, like, about her family? Like the topic's gotta come up and, like, other relationships that she gets into. Like, yeah, I'm an estranged child or something. What emotion is this? Makes me feel chilled inside. Such a mysterious emotion. I pondered what was in my heart while Gill continued to make crab cakes. My compliments to the chef. Compliments received. Thanks for such a lovely meal, Lynette. Oh, don't thank me. You did most of the work. I was just your assistant and barely that. All I did was shape the crab cakes and prep some lettuce for the salad. Gill basically handled almost everything else, and as usual, he demonstrated how skilled he really is. I'm sorry, Gill. I really thought I'd be able to cook for you as thanks for today. Well, that's exactly what you did, and it was delicious. I haven't had such a wonderful meal in a while. Gill's smile was so big that I knew it was genuine. I returned it with a smile of my own, simply because he looked so happy. Well, now that we're finished, I'll take care of the cleanup. Go and take a break. I pick up the dishes and head to the kitchen. Clarice hasn't come home yet, so she's probably spending the night elsewhere again since she has the day off tomorrow. Looks like it's just Gill and me today. Oh, uh-oh. Alone. I don't feel nervous. Gill is like family to me. I was raised by Lord Mars and Lady Venus, who shared no blood relation to me. My understanding of family is different. The way I wanted to thank him feels closer to celebrating Father's Day or Mother's Day. As usual, my own feelings are hard to understand. I still need to sort through them to consider how I view Gill as a man. Lynette, how about we watch a movie after dinner? I've got a Trans4Cars disc. I thought you'd probably didn't keep up with it once I left. What do you say? You want to watch? Oh, yes, please. Awesome. Then save the dishes for later and come settle down. If we don't start now, I'll end up staying up late. Let's get started, but then still have to do the dishes later. I can wash the dishes before bed. Quickly, I placed them in the sink and hurried to the sofa. I sat down and watched Gill put in the desk. He adjusted things to make the screen easier to see, and grabbed us some drinks. Gonna sit down on the couch and chill, and are we gonna do other stuff? The movie began, and immediately I was glued to the screen. Megatron. What are the characters of Megatron? Optimus Prime is Megatron, or who's the bad one? I don't know. Is that the best you could do, Bubble Pig? Stand up. Oh, ow. Wow, that scene brings back memories. And that transformation sequence is still so cool. I know. All the main Trans4Cars are standardized. Their specs are all the same, which is part of why they're so cool. Gill kept the good times rolling with snacks and his high energy. He put a cushion down for me, prepared lots of treats, and even kept my wine glass full. She's still doting on her, even though she was gonna make the dinner. Still serving her. He really is a caring guy, and it's quite intense. We continued watching the movie as Gill topped my glass and kept refreshing the snacks. Are you trying to get her drunk or something? In the end, I was so focused on the movie that I didn't notice Gill had snuck away and did the dishes. Still did all the work. How sneaky. Okay, oh, it's the end of the chapter. Wow, that was another long chapter. Lovecraft in love. Well, that's nothing new. We know he's in love. Alrighty. Okay, yeah, this is a good time for a little breaky break. The relationship is still kind of at a standstill, but at least Lynette feels awkward about it. She's becoming a little more hyper-aware. So, we'll see how things take a turn. Alrighty, let's do a little save. Speaking of food, I gotta get some food too. Alrighty. Anywho, I hope you guys are having a fun time with this, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.